What's going on, y'all? Good morning, good morning, good morning. Y'all hit the like button as y'all come on in. Hit the like button as you come in. Let's have a conversation about the LA Lakers. Chris, what's going on with you, bro? What's happening with you, man? Can y'all hear me? I'm using a microphone, so I'm hoping y'all can hear me. Hoping y'all can hear me clear. Tyrone, what's going on with you, man? James, what's up with you, bro? Okay, cool. I just want to make sure y'all can hear me clearly and like the outside noise is not drowning me out, right? Oh, we got to have a conversation. Michael Johnson, what's up? What's up? So I know y'all see the title and y'all like tripping out because y'all know I'm a fan of LeBron James. That's my guy, right? But I've noticed like is it a real title? I'm being silly, but I've noticed a pattern. And the pattern that I notice is it's okay. Hey, bro, my boy in here, Mill, what's going on, big dog? I noticed a pattern. It's okay for the Lakers to lose when LeBron James is not playing. I noticed that. I noticed that. When LeBron playing and the Lakers lose, oh my God, it's World War Five. Everybody panicking, everybody ready to just we LeBron James is ruining his team. He's horrible, he's garbage. He don't know how to play within the system. He's messing up the team chemistry. I see all of that. When LeBron not out there and the Lakers lose, it's okay. It's a great day in Lakerland, and all the Lakers are still gracious that Luka Doncic is a Laker and they ready for LeBron James to get up out of there. It's so crazy to me. It's so crazy, right? Because I guarantee you, if LeBron James would have played last night and the Lakers would have lost that game, it don't matter how competitive it would have been. The headline would be LeBron James is ruining the Lakers. Because I know how y'all get down. I know how y'all get down all the way. So I be wondering, like, what is the difference? Like, why is the Lakers fans why they so cool with a loss last night? Now I'm not saying all Laker fans are like this, but it's like 70%, 75% of like 75, 80%. I'm pushing the percentage up, but y'all get what I'm saying. Like 80% of the Lakers fans cool with a loss last night. But if LeBron was out there running around, it would have been, oh my God, we need to get him up out of here. And y'all know what that is, why that is. So a lot of these Laker fans who hate LeBron are really Kobe fans. Let's be honest. Let's be honest. Y'all know that. And so they never wanted LeBron James in a Lakers uniform at all. That's the reason why the Laker fans, the real Laker fans, that's the real the Kobe fanatics, they try to dismiss the title in 2020. It don't mean nothing. It don't count. I never seen a fan base do that with a championship. But the real Laker fans, as if the real Laker fans had something to cheer about in the past 10 years before that. So I don't know, man. You say, Sandcastle girl, yes, 80% of Lakers are unfaithful and hate LeBron James. Hey, Chris, man, I appreciate it, man. You say happy belated birthday, bro. That's love, man. I appreciate you, man. Me and my family are all grateful. But y'all know what I'm saying. And Charlie X is saying exactly what I'm saying. It's still LeBron's fault. He making it. The team is LeBron's fault still. From the bench, he's still like he ain't doing nothing right. He's still on the bench making them. He messing up the chemistry. There's always a reason to find a way for everything to be LeBron James' fault. I like this is crazy to me. It's crazy, and y'all know it's crazy, and y'all know that's why when people say LeBron James fans are a cult, I will sit and tell y'all that Kobe Bryant fanatics is the same. It's the same thing. Oh, Anthony Nobles, man, I appreciate the Cash App donation, man. Thank you, brother. I appreciate it, man. Me and my family appreciate it all. He said Charlie X said Cap. I mean, Michael Johnson say cap. Y'all know what I'm saying because they say LeBron James fans are cold, but oh my God, Laker fans still mad. Kobe Bryant fanatics still mad LeBron over there. They still mad LeBron over there. He 41 years old. They still out here just get him off my team. And I always tell y'all this. If you don't have LeBron James on the LA Lakers, if you never had him in LA, Luka Doncic don't come over there, right? Because first of all, Anthony Davis don't come over there unless LeBron there, because he's not coming over there in free agency. And you wouldn't have had Luka Doncic because they traded Anthony Davis for Luka Doncic, right? So if LeBron James don't come over there, I don't know what state the Lakers would be in because it's not like they was getting free agents before this. It was not like they was getting free agents. People always holler out. That's when the real Laker fans always lose me, right? They always say, "We the Lakers, we was gonna be okay. We the Lakers, we the Lakers, we the Lakers." And I always say, what big time free agent was coming to LA before LeBron James? I can You know the last time a big time free agent came to the Lakers before LeBron? Shit, it might have been Shaquille O'Neal, from what I remember. So as we getting at. Oh man, Zero man. I appreciate the Cash App donation. Zero. And the homie James, man. I appreciate the Cash App donations, man. Y'all showing love. Thank y'all, man, because y'all know YouTube be taking my money. So I appreciate it, man. Y'all, that really, really, y'all that made my morning, man. That's love. But yeah, Shaq, Luol Deng. That was the last time that the Lakers had big time free agents. So all of that miss me with all that. They act like the late LeBron is the worst thing that happened to the Lakers. And I always tell y'all, I don't know. The Lakers might be in an abysmal state if he does not come over there. So it's just crazy to me. He said he had problems both times in Cleveland. He had problems in Miami, not the Lakers. And we haven't mentioned the Olympic team problems. Lorraine, you don't know what side of the fence you want to be on. It's crazy. He said, Sandcastle say, "Don't worry, Mac. Once he leaves, once Lee retired his team, once he retires, this team not winning another till 10 to 20 years." And but see, and this is the thing though. I just feel like it's just so much inconsistencies in the way the team is reported on or talked about when LeBron James is on the court versus when he's not, right? Because this is the thing. They say LeBron James make the Lakers a horrible team. He messes up everything. Then they got mad that he wasn't on the court last night. How can you not come out and help Luka Doncic? This is what I'm talking about. He's terrible. How can you not come out and help Luka Doncic? He's terrible. How can he be sitting on the bench? I thought y'all said he don't make a difference on his team. I thought y'all said y'all don't want him out there. I thought y'all said y'all ready for him to go. I thought y'all said he was horrible for the chemistry. I thought y'all said he disrupted everything. So if he disrupts everything, why are y'all so upset that he's not on the court last night? Why are you berating him for not being out there last night? If he messes up everything like y'all say, right? Disciples 24 say, bro, it's become normal to hate on Bron. Yes, it's the thing to do. I promise y'all, hating LeBron James is the new thing to do now. It's just like everything he do is, oh my God, it's terrible. And again, I've always said this. I've never seen an all-time great player, a Mount Rushmore player, be viewed through this lens, especially at the end of his career, through all of the stuff he's accomplished. I've never seen an all-time great player like this get downplayed while he's still averaging 22 points a game. I got to look up exactly what his averages are because I can't remember off the top. I know 22 a game as far as points go. Somebody tell me what his other numbers are. Uh, right, exactly. You would think the way that people talk about the Lakers, you would think they out of the playoff picture or they the eighth seed. Oh, LeBron ruining everything. Look at my Lakers, he's ruining them. They fourth in the West. And you would think the way the Lakers get reported on when LeBron James is out there, you would think they are at the bottom of the whole entire NBA. The way they talk, you would think they're the Los Angeles Clippers. You see what I'm saying? That's what I'm talking about. and stuff like that. Say Lakers just got sold to the Dodgers on it. They're about to do things. Talking Grubbing Media, what's going on, man? He said LeBron shouldn't have went to the Lakers. He either should have stayed with the Cavs or went to another team because he was never going to get that love from Lakers fans. And that's a fact, right? But I think he probably just wanted to go out to the LA, be in a Lakers uniform. All the great players have played, majority of them have played for the Lakers. You know what I mean? He like, I want to go out to LA, California, wear the Lakers uniform, have a chance to be a part of that franchise history, because I do think LeBron cares about the history of the game and the great franchises. So I'm like, he probably wanted to go to LA and be in that uniform. But I promise y'all, like you said, it was a mistake to do so. It was a mistake to do so because you see how he gets treated over there from day one. You got people who have again, I've never seen a championship get downplayed by its own fan base. You got real Laker fans saying, I don't want that championship. That championship don't mean nothing. That bubble championship is a Mickey Mouse championship. Boy, I guarantee you, every other franchise in the NBA would have been grateful to win a championship, right? And don't call out, we the Lakers, because what was y'all winning in the past 8 to 9 years? What was y'all winning in that point? You know what I'm saying? Diesel, man, I appreciate the cash. The donation to the channel. He say, I can't put your comment on here. Hold on, let me see if I can put it on. Diesel, hilarious. Diesel say, Pau Gasol was traded to the Lakers for that bum Kwame Brown. Now watch Kwame. After you say that, after that, Kwame finna find his way to the chat. Watch this. I know how this work. Because either he got a burner account or somebody over here reporting whenever I go live talking about the Lakers on LeBron, because I wasn't even talking about it in the last video. But yeah, I appreciate the donation, bro. That mean a lot to me, man. Thank you very much, bro. I'm trying to make this YouTube thing my full-time profession so I don't have to work them crazy hours when my hours is shifting and my hours not consistent. Y'all, it's been crazy. Like this employment situation, hours not consistent, fluctuating. I ain't got, man, got bills to pay out here, man. And y'all know I love talking to y'all. But yeah, like I said, Pau Gasol was not even a free agent. He got traded over there, right? Didn't Dwight get traded over there too? And if that's the case, then that would mean the last time before LeBron James, the last big time free agent the Lakers had was Shaquille O'Neal. So said true. Braun was already living in LA during the off season, right? Hold on, I'm trying to see what they said. These clowns still hating. Brutus, man, what's happening? He said these clowns still hating on older LeBron. The fact that LeBron is so good, they hate seeing someone that's better than MJ and Kobe without saying it. Yes, because they feel like LeBron is supposed to be averaging 7 a game at this point. He's supposed to be averaging that 5 points a game that Vince Carter was averaging when Vince was 40, 41, you know what I mean? And because he's averaging 22 a game as the third option on the team, it's like we got to figure out a way to make him minuscule. We got to figure out a way to say he's not that good. And I'm like, how are you trying to figure out a way to say a guy is not that good when you've been seeing evidence for years he's that good? He had 21 straight seasons of being an all NBA player. You ain't never seen nothing like that in your life. And you still trying to downplay it and make it seem like you're not seeing what you're seeing. I don't know, man. I can't imagine. I can't imagine that, bro. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. Hold on. Let me see. See some more comments running in. I'm looking at what y'all saying. Said Dwight and Steve Nash were free agent signing. Said, nah, Braun is on the juice and it's obvious. Hey, man, well, them other boys need to get on the juice too. They need to get on that juice too, then, if that's the case. I don't, dude out there hooping without question. And Mom be mad. And listen, the thing too, I always see people say LeBron on that juice, he on the juice, but they love Barry Bonds' dirty draws. They love Barry Bonds, dirty and what? And they be like, it don't matter if he took steroids. He still was all-time great. Steroids don't help you with hand-eye coordination, right? Y'all holler that out. Advocate for Barry Bonds all the time. All the time. It don't matter. It don't help you with hand-eye coordination. That's what y'all holler. No, Barry, that's what I'm, and my point is Barry is one of the greatest baseball players we've ever seen in our lifetime, right? In the history of all things. But people will say, right, exactly. Barry was a Hall of Famer before the juice. But people holler, they don't care about the juice or steroids when it comes to Barry because Barry was just that good, right? But the thing they want to holler out is LeBron on steroids without any tests, without any proof. They say that. You know what I'm saying? That's a fact. You know what I mean? No, ain't no cake. Y'all say he on steroids without no actual proof. That's a fact, right? Now, y'all people love Barry, and you know what I'm saying is true. People always gonna get Barry. It don't matter Barry on that stuff. Barry was the one. But when it comes to LeBron, he on steroids. He on steroids. All y'all favorite boxing. I'm gonna tell you this right now. Hold on. Yeah, and Barry didn't feel no test either. So that's just my point. Never tested positive for nothing, but it's always he's on steroids. Look, and it's the same way. Like, for example, everybody loved Roy Jones, right? Everybody loved Roy. Now Roy didn't Roy pop dirty for drugs too? Roy didn't pop dirty before. From what I remember, Roy Jones popped dirty. Um, there's been a few great boxers who didn't pop dirty for steroids, right? And everybody be cool with it. Nobody just say, "Oh man, Roy had to been on that stuff his whole career." Nobody say nothing like that at all. You see where I'm going with this? In boxing, we've said what? You know what I mean? For real. Now didn't Roy Jones pop dirty? I'm trying to remember. I think Roy popped Antonio Tarver popped dirty too, but I believe Roy popped dirty too, right? But nobody gonna say, "Damn, Roy had to be on that stuff his whole career." We gonna discount Roy for the greatness that we saw from him. We gonna discount it, especially how Roy was getting knocked out at the end of his career, getting slumped, right? And I love Roy. I love Roy, right? But nobody says that about Roy. You know what I'm saying? Now I'm just asking. Now somebody answer that question. Did Roy Jones pop dirty for steroids? I'm trying to remember. So LA had a 10-year drought. Now Tyson Fury did, Antonio Tarver, now, yeah. So Canelo and all that. Nobody try to discount their legacy. Well, Canelo get his, but yeah. Say yes, he tested positive for steroids after his fight against Richard Hall in 2000. Now, fact. Now, Black Mom, are you going to discount Roy? Are you going to say Roy was on that stuff his whole career? Because Roy actually popped dirty for steroids, right? Now, I'm gonna ask Black Mall this. So is Roy's career this so is Roy a PED user? Now, this a guy Roy popped dirty before. And nobody gonna question Roy's great athleticism, his dominance during that era. Nobody's going to question that at all. Right? Now LeBron ain't got no field PED test, nothing. But everybody cool, everybody love Roy. And Roy didn't pop dirty before. That's my point. Because everybody like Roy Jones. Roy get on here talking crazy, all that. And everybody cool with Roy. Hold on. No. Black Maul, don't do that because you know boxing. You know people call Roy one of the greatest fighters they've ever seen. They call Roy's prime the greatest shit they ever seen. You know that. Black Maul, don't do that. You know boxing. You know they call Roy. They say if it wasn't for Roy's in the end of Roy's career, they always say Roy probably would have been known as the best boxer alive, breathing oxygen on planet Earth. Don't do that, Black Maul. You don't do that. You know they look at Roy as they saw him as some alien from out of this world. And you know that. They say if it wasn't for the end of his career, Prime Roy was the greatest thing they ever seen in their life. And you know that. So regardless, you don't got to get called the GOAT. You know what I'm talking about. And we don't know in his prime if he was on steroids the whole time. We don't know. We don't know that. But we do know that time he tested positive for steroids. We saw that. And everybody let it ride and let it slide. And he popped dirty. And they still gonna say his prime was one of the best they ever seen. You get where I'm going with this, Black Mom? See, y'all got selective outrage. LeBron ain't never popped dirty. You hate him, you say he's a steroid user. But Roy, the great Roy Jones, he popped dirty for real. And everybody still say his prime is some of the best they ever seen. They not gonna question it. They not gonna say, was he on steroids that whole time? Nobody gonna say nothing like that. That is my point. LeBron never failed no steroid, no drug testing at all. But Roy did, and y'all let Roy ride. No. Ain't no who cares. Ain't no, that's not, it's not no who cares, bro. It's not no who cares. It shouldn't be a who cares. Because if you like boxing the way I know you do, it should be a thing. But it's cool though. Roy pop dirty. Nobody questioned none of his prime time. None of that. Nobody questioned none of his dominance. Nobody questioned none of that. So, see what I'm saying? But anyway, I kind of got off track. Yeah, people be calling John Jones the greatest UFC fighter. Roy John be popping dirty all the time. Exactly. Look at how they treat Ryan Garcia, even after the fact that he popped dirty on 3 tests. That's a fact. That's a fact. Ryan was on all that stuff, and I seen everybody making an excuse for it. LeBron James ain't pop dirty on 1 drug test. These other dudes pop dirty on in other sports. It'd be cool. It's fine. That's my point. Yeah, man. So what I'm saying, I don't want. I promise y'all. A lot of times, I wish LeBron never went to the Lakers organization because the real Laker fans, they always figure out a way to make everything his fault. Like I said, I never seen after a Lakers loss, I never seen these dudes this cool and chill about a Lakers loss. If LeBron was on the court last night and the Lakers lost, it would have been all type of weird comments. He ruining the chemistry. He need to get him off my team. You know what I'm saying? You need to get him on my team. If LeBron was out there, when the Lakers lose, it's okay if LeBron not out there. It's all right. All's well. All's well that ends well. That'd be the thing for me. Now, Black Mom, Roy Jones is not a bad comparison. Because again, Roy's prime, he's looked at as one of the greatest fighters, the greatest fighter people have ever seen. His prime. Forget Ryan Garcia, Black Mall. You know that point I made with Roy Jones is valid. You know that for a fact. You know that. And Roy Jones popped dirty in 2000, right? Roy Prime looked at as the greatest we ever seen. And he popped dirty. And don't nobody say, man, Roy had to been on that stuff, man, his whole career. He had to been. He had to been. That's why he was so dominant, man. Because he was on steroids. It makes sense. Nobody say that. Prime Roy was smoking. Boy, you see how he smoked um what's my dude? James Tony. You see how he smoked James Boots? Beating B Hop now. You see what? Smoke James Tony Boots. And I love James Tony, one of my favorite lights out, one of my favorite fighters all time. Look how he made lights out look. And then later on, we found out he on steroids, and nobody says, man, was Roy doing that the whole time? Black Maul, you know Roy's prime is looked at as one of the greatest primes in boxing history. Come on, man. Come on, don't do that. Don't do that. Roy's Roy only not in the GO conversation because of the end of his career, because how it ended for real. If Roy would have ended his career after the John Ruiz, after he won against John Ruiz, it would have been a whole different conversation. Come on, man. Roy, people look at Roy's dominance as something spectacular they ain't never seen. You know that. Don't do that. Only reason that Roy not in the GO conversation because he get knocked out at the end of his career. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, after that first Tarver fight, leave that alone. He would have retired then, he'd been cool. So that's my point. That's my point. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. So that's my point of everything, man. Hold on. Do we talk about? Yes, we do talk about Roy Jones like we talk about Ray Leonard in that certain aspect. Yes, we. Listen, Roy's prime of his career. Come on, bro. I'm finna do a poll. Roy Jones, boxing aficionados say that shit that he was doing during his prime years was some stuff they ain't never seen. Max Kellerman sit on TV all the time and tell y'all that Max Kellerman was something special. I mean, not Max Kellerman, that Roy Jones, if that prime was the greatest fighter he ever seen in his life. And Max know more boxing than I even can. He forgot more boxing than I know. You said Roy didn't have the dance partners. Now look, we can say that. Now the same way that you say that, they be saying they be trying to do the same. That's how they discredit Bud, right? Now he didn't have the same dance partners that even like Bud had a little few more than Roy, right? But it's people that still say all Bud fault was Errol and Canelo, right? That's what they holler out and say. But we know, I mean, everybody that was he could have fought some other guys if he was on PBC, but the guys he fought, he dominated them. And the best dudes that was available, he smoked them. Look how he smoked a prime James Lights Out Tony. I'm saying masculine also Ron isn't the GOAT in MJ. So what? He don't I don't have to agree with everything he say. I don't even think LeBron is the GOAT. You know what I'm saying? But my thing is, I just noticed how real Laker fans act with LeBron James, and I promise you, I've never seen the streets as quiet, as cool, calm, and collected now that the Lakers lost and LeBron didn't play. See what I'm saying? And so, by Black Mall logic, it's okay if you take steroids as long as you're not considered one of the goats. Is what he said. It's okay to take steroids as long as you ain't considered one of the goats. Yes, he's super. Bud is extremely accomplished, right? But I'm gonna tell you right now, what I'm saying is, ask people who Bud beat at 140 to be undisputed. I bet you they can't name them. Ask people who Bud beat at 35. I bet you they can't name them. Ask people who Bud fought at 47. All they gonna name is Errol Spence, is what I'm saying. And I can name all of them, but what I'm saying is that Bud is as accomplished as Bud's career is phenomenal. But people gonna say, well, at 40, you fought, you know, who did you really the names weren't that big. Like this ain't even about me hating Bud. I think Bud is phenomenal, right? But yeah, I think Bud is phenomenal, outstanding. But people can say Bud has didn't have the certain dance partners throughout his career that other fighters have had. Now I ain't never Sean Porter ain't never been trash in his life. None whatsoever. Sean always been a live dog. Nah, Jeff Horn, I ain't never liked Jeff Horn. Never. But Sean Porter always been a live dog in every fight he was in. So, and I don't hear nobody say that Sean Porter was trash. People say Sean Porter was trash. Trash. Sean always been act like, you know what I'm saying? Sean was never considered great, like all like great, but Sean was very good. Always game fighter, always came to bring it every time he fought. But I ain't never heard nobody say Sean was trash though. Jeff Horn, yeah. I hear people say Jeff. I ain't never liked Jeff Horn. I'm gonna tell you that right now. I never thought highly of Jeff Horn ever. That was just me. I never thought highly of him. But Sean, yeah, and him stopping Sean was outstanding because Sean had never been stopped before. But yeah. But anyway, what I'm saying is that all I'm saying is that it's just I see how Laker fans be acting. Ah, I see how Laker fans be acting, man. Black Mall, I don't think Jeff Horn beats Pac-Man. I really don't. I don't think Jeff Horn won that fight. I don't. Um, just like Tim Bradley didn't really beat Pac-Man for real. But he got the W on his record though. But yeah. Do I think Roy losing to guys like Calzaghe hurt him? I think him get knocked out by what's my man name? Like towards the end of his career, getting stopped them times, I think hurt him for real. But yeah, all I'm saying, say Lakers is just a bad defensive team. Correct, right? But my thing is, nobody likes to point these flaws out about how they're bad defensively unless LeBron is on the court. You know what I mean? And when he on the court, all they talk about the Lakers bad, they terrible, they horrible, da 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 da. Right? As long as he out there playing. When he not out there playing, it's cool. The Lakers they can lose, they can get blown out. It's fine. It's cool. It's all right. Long as he ain't out there, it's cool. But it's a lot of things that I see with people try to like play these certain games, right? This whole thing that, Clutch Sports has people that they pay to down talk other superstars or down talk Michael Jordan. Do I think Rich Paul be slighting Michael Jordan on purpose? I mean, yes. Yes, I think Rich does, right? I do think Rich slights Mike at times. Yes, for Bron, absolutely, right? But the same can be said for individuals like Quentin Richardson, individuals like Steven Jackson, Darius Miles to a lesser degree, but Quentin Richardson, who are actually Jordan brand athletes. These are actual people that are on Michael Jordan's payroll. But for some reason, that gets skipped over. Nobody act like they don't know that. But LeBron be paying everybody without no proof of him paying everybody. But Quentin Richardson, a person who has strong animosity towards LeBron James on a regular, on a regular, we find out he a Jordan brand athlete. What? Well, I've been knew Q was a Jordan brand athlete. Been knew that. And it's good. And it's cool. Nobody says Jordan out here paying people to hate LeBron. Nobody say that. Nobody say that. Quentin Richardson can't wait to throw bad stuff on LeBron name. I remember when Kawhi first came to LA, Quentin Richardson, when he was geeked up on TV. He was geeked. He on TV. I see who out here really looking for the smoke. Kawhi Leonard looking for all the smoke. LeBron, he passive. He trying to hide from the smoke. He not trying to stand in the midst of the smoke. I see all that. And I'm looking like, all right, cool, Q. That's all cool and fine. But what has Kawhi been on since he been in LA? Since Kawhi been a Clipper brand athlete, see, hold on. Black Maul. Just because Melo is LeBron's friend, bro. That's his boy. So one that does not negate what I just said about all them other dudes who throw hate. Throwing Melo name out there does not negate the others, right? That don't negate the others. What I'm saying is Q Richardson, Steven Jackson, Darius Miles are all Jordan brand athletes. And a lot of them have thrown animosity towards LeBron James consistently. And nobody says Michael Jordan paying people to hate LeBron James. And that's never an angle, even though these guys are signed to Jordan brand. You see what I'm saying? Nobody got no proof of LeBron paying nobody. Nobody. But every time an athlete says something about LeBron James, they paid to do so. When we ain't got no proof of nobody being on payroll, we got proof that Q Richardson and Steven Jackson are both Jordan brand athletes. You can look this up. You see what I'm saying? You can look this up, and nobody says Mike is paying people to hate LeBron James. Nobody say that. Nobody says that. So what are we doing? You never hear Michael Jordan is paying people to hate LeBron. You never hear it, even though the dudes that talk the most shit about Bron are signed to Jordan brand. You know what I'm saying? First of all, Brian Windhorst don't say nothing bad about Michael Jordan, right? Richard Jefferson and Channing Frye only admit that it's a lot of Michael Jordan fans who don't like to embrace the future of basketball. I don't hear them say Mike was trash or nothing, right? But what I'm saying is, do you have proof that these individuals are paying, that LeBron is paying them people? We have actual proof, Black Mall, right? Yeah, Quentin from Q Rich from my hometown, Chicago. Chicago full of haters. Chicago motherfucker hate like a mother. But Q is signed to Jordan Brand. That's my point. You cannot prove that none of these people are paid by LeBron James. We can prove, we can look it up. Hold on, who all signed to Clutch? Gilbert Arenas, Channing Frye, and Kendrick Perkins signed to Clutch. None. Well, who signed the Clutch? Who signed the? Come trying to think. Who on that list signed the Clutch? Brian Windhorst, Richard Jefferson, Kendrick Perkins. What did you say? Rich Paul is Clutch. Yeah, that's Bron boy. So I said Rich. He purposely says things about LeBron. I mean about Michael Jordan. Yes, but who else is on that list is signed to Clutch? I don't know. No, like I don't think Kendrick Perkins ever been signed to Clutch. They just former LeBron James teammates. I don't think none of them, none of them is signed to Clutch Sports. Rich Paul, the only one that run Clutch. That's not the moving. Nick Wright signed to Clutch. Do you have proof that Nick Wright is signed to Clutch Sports? The Clutch athletes is all that's public information. Is what I'm saying. Y'all talking about Shannon Sharp. How do y'all y'all seen that Shannon Sharp is signed to Clutch Sports? David Falk gonna come out of retirement and cuss Rich, and I hope Rich cuss David Falk the fuck out. Tell him shut the fuck up. David Falk talk that, he can't talk to me, boy. I wish David Falk would talk that to me. Anybody that like this, you're right. Anybody that like LeBron or say good or anything good about LeBron, they all sign the Clutch. All of them. That's how y'all think. Everybody that says anything good about LeBron James is signed the Clutch Sports. I don't know where y'all get that from. I don't know where y'all get that from, but anybody who say anything good about LeBron just magically signed the Clutch. How can I prove they paid by MJ Lorraine? You can look up who is a Jordan Brand athlete. Go look it up on Google. You're gonna see Quentin Richardson's name. You're gonna see Darius Miles' name. You're gonna see Steven Jackson's name. That is public information. They will tell you they're signed to Jordan Brand. They all have admitted being signed to Jordan Brand. That's why they get all the Jordans. That's why they get all the Jordans. Why you think Stack always talking about how he get all the Jordans, Quentin Richardson them get all the Jordans? They talk about it on a podcast and on other people's podcasts. They announce that they're signed to Jordan Brand, right? And I'm not saying Mike paying them to hate on them or not. I'm not saying that Mike paid them to do that. I don't think so. But what I'm saying is nobody says that Mike is paying them to hate LeBron, even though they're on Mike's payroll. They're on Mike's payroll. That's my point. I don't think Mike paid him to do that at all, but nobody questions it, is what I'm saying. But anybody that's cool that like LeBron James, they all get paid for some reason. But nobody questions, damn, shut your crying. Hey, bro, get your goof ass off here, Jet Life. Get your goof ass off here. Go cry to your daddy, Kwame Brown. They said that you trying to come over here. Kwame was right. Go cry to your daddy. This Mills guy is all over the place. I'm sure I'm all over the place now because what I'm saying makes sense. And a lot of y'all don't have critical thinking skills. What I'm saying is, why does nobody, I don't think Michael Jordan pay anybody to hate on LeBron James at all. Bro, nobody tells anyone to build up. It's unnecessary. Bro, it's not unnecessary, right? The same way you said it's unnecessary to do something. No, Taryn, you see, and you to say nobody does that is disingenuous. You watch Dreamers Pro, Black Moon. You see these channels, right? So to say nobody does that, yeah, they do. When you say LeBron James is not a Mount Rushmore talent, and then you talk about, oh, it's talking about it's unnecessary to do so. What? Quentin Richardson and them sit up here all day. Bro, if you do all the crying, what the baby go? This Kwame Brown on here. You feel me? This Kwame Brown talking. I know this you. My Chi-Town people will call you Goofy. I'm Chicago, Illinois. They never gonna call me Goofy. I'm more Chicago than the people you know, motherfucker. I'm more Chicago than them. If you cut my arm right now, mouth sauce come out. I done been all through the South Side. You hear me? From the low end to the hundreds. Those Chicago people ain't got no standing where I'm standing. Tell them I said that. You feel me? Mac, nobody tore LeBron down. Hey, don't do that. We people make careers out of tearing LeBron James down. We not gonna do that. So, what? See, y'all be trying to, y'all be trying to tell the move the goalposts when it comes to like when I make points, certain points. You see what I'm saying? What I'm saying is nobody alleges that Quentin Richardson is being paid, and Q go out his way to hate LeBron all the time, all the time. All these Chicago, Steven Hunter, all these Chicago, all of them do that. Bro, what truth are you talking about? Because if you say LeBron James is not a top 5 player, that's not truth. That's not. He's not top 10. You see, this is the type of shit I'm talking about right here. This right here, this one I know you don't know. See what I'm talking about, Black Mom? This man said LeBron James is not a top 10 player. This is what I'm talking about right here. When you hate, that's hate. That is hate. When you say LeBron James is not a top 10 player, that is hate. That's all that is. That's his opinion. His opinion is wrong. Even to say LeBron, Charles Barkley got LeBron top 10, but he don't. What? Ah! Talking about LeBron. Hold on. Who in the go conversation? Kevo. Who in the go conversation to you, Kevo? We not talking about Howard Cosell. We talking about who started it against LeBron James, not Howard Cosell. Black Mall. We talking about who started it for LeBron James, not Howard Cosell in the '60s. We talking about Skip Bayless in particular, LeBron James in particular. Skip Bayless was the captain of that ship for the longest time. But Kevo, who in the go conversation for you? Until he answers to LeBron James. You want LeBron James to answer to Chael Sonnen? I'm not saying LeBron is the first athlete. Y'all just only notice it with LeBron. No, no. I've never seen a player at his old age. You seen a player at his old age get ridiculed like this? Have you seen a great a Mount Rushmore player in a late in their early 40s get denigrated to this level? I know you ain't got Kobe. I know you ain't got and Elgin. You said Elgin Baylor. How many chips Elgin Baylor won? Since you say that, right? And I know you ain't say Kobe. I know you ain't say Kobe Bryant in your go conversation. And you talking about coming up short because I didn't see Kobe Bryant stop shooting in an actual playoff game. Stop shooting too, so and lost the 3-1 lead. But because it didn't happen in the finals, it's cool. I didn't see Kobe Bryant play against the Boston Celtics and shoot 3 shots in the second half of a closeout game. The man said, if we take away rings, LeBron is not top 20. Well, if we take away, what's next? If we take away the basketball next, motherfucker? Let's just, if we take away the basketball, if we take away the jersey number, if we take away the court, what? What is we talking about, bro? Kobe is 5-2 in the finals, And who was the best player in the first three championships? I'm asking you a question. Who was the best player on the teams? If we take away the basketball, what the fuck is he talking about? Now look, now Black Mom, MJ still went out and won 3 rings, and he did, right? He did. Meanwhile, dude doesn't know that because his mom can't get over his mom. Okay, that's cool, right? That's cool. Michael Jordan won 3 rings. That's what's up. This ain't even about me thinking Bron better than Michael Jordan. We don't, right? But see, you sit here and say that, and then all people got to say is that they're gonna say, "Well, hold on, their defensive play still matters." Man, dude, losing a 3-1 lead matter, Kevo. Do that matter? Do you when you stop shooting the ball and you lose a 3-1 lead? Do that? I guess that's cool, Kevo. Do that matter when you lose a 3-1 lead and you stop shooting? That's cool. LeBron can't even shoot. If we take away the rings, what the fuck? What is we talking about, brother? Kyrie Irving outplayed LeBron James in 2 finals. Go look up the statistics. LeBron led the Cleveland Cavaliers. He led both teams in every statistical category. You sound silly, T3 indeed. You've been listening to them drunk men that been drinking beer on them podcasts. LeBron led the Cleveland Cavaliers and the Golden State Warriors in every statistical category in them finals. You don't know what you're talking about. You don't know what you're talking about. Talking about Kyrie. Kyrie didn't lead them in scoring, assist, rebounds, steals, block shots, none of that. But Kyrie outplayed him. Is you drunk? Kyrie was a dog without question. But he didn't the fact remains he didn't outplay LeBron James. And if you say that, you drunk off that damn beer. If you say that. We know that's not true. So what are we talking about? In his final contract year, Bron simply focused on building. How can you say he's focused on building personal stats? Timothy, was you mad last night when the Lakers lost? Was that okay? I just want to know, was you upset when the Lakers lost last night? Was it cool that they lost last night when Bron didn't play? Was that cool? Bruh, LeBron James had 41 points in back-to-back games. Yeah, he hit a big shot. The same way I can say Meta World Peace hit big shots for the Lakers for them to beat the Boston Celtics to close out the game. Because Kobe shot 6 of 24 in that final game. You remember that T3 and D, right? You on the wrong channel, brother. I'm here to correct you. It's cool. Come down to the church. Because Meta World Peace was the one that hit them big shots to close out that game against Boston, right? He the one that hit the three. And it was cool then, right? It was cool. Exactly, 10-3. I know you better go to something else. You better go to another topic, brother. You better go to another topic because you know you lost this one. Timothy, were you okay with the Lakers getting beat last night? Was that cool? Was it cool? Because LeBron James didn't play. Hey, God Family USA, you too freaked out, bro. You thinking about buttholes and somebody throwing up a hand sign. Your mind, you too, you gotta stay off them sites you be watching. You too freaked out. I know you got a profile on them sites that you be watching. You too freaked out. You gotta calm down, brother. He ducked Wimby. Like, what? He ducked Wimby. Okay. It's so would you hold on. First you say the Lakers don't need LeBron. Now he ducking, huh? Now you want him out there on the court. They don't need LeBron though, but you want him on the court last night. Ice Trader gang is here now, LeBron. And Washington still ain't finna be on that. He absolutely ducked the Spurs. Man, what? For what? What would benefit him by not playing against the Spurs? What would that? Because he's scared of y'all. He's scared what y'all gonna say. What? Ducking elite teams. He been Braun been playing elite teams his whole career, but somehow he at old age he's scared to play these dudes now. Somehow, some way, he been playing elite teams his whole career, putting winning games against elite teams his whole career, but now he's scared to play them now. What sense do that make? Some of us, you can't be right about it. You the worst type. No, you the worst type of dude because you do more hating than a bitter baby mama. You, Jet Lifer, you hate more than a bitter baby mama, bro. You worse than a bitter baby mama. That's the type of hating you do. So I ain't. It sound cool. He's always ducking. He's always ducking. Oh my god. He's always ducking. He's always ducking. Yeah, Jet Life. You know you got that bitter baby mama spirit on you. I'm glad you laughing, so you know you walk in that ilk. So hold on. Like what? They just be talking, but again, they don't know. I'm not these other channels that they be debating against. I know facts. I know basketball. Like, why would LeBron James be running from competition at 40 some years? Like he been going against top competition his whole career. Now he just magically just ducking. As if when playoff and then when like they act like when playoff series come, like he just don't play. He be sitting on the bench. It's just crazy to me. But I know how y'all get in. I know how y'all get in. Hold on. Said LeBron gonna duck Giannis too. You feel like Braun doesn't get nowhere near MJ or Floyd Mayweather hate. Nah, bro. Floyd Mayweather and LeBron hate is almost Floyd get a little bit more hate for sure. But LeBron get a ton of hate, bro. A ton. A ton. Now some of Floyd hate um is a little bit more because they don't want to acknowledge anything that he does in boxing is great, right? You got people who don't want to like. You got dude just said Braun not a top 10 player. The people who follow Dreamers Pro who subscribe to him, they don't give LeBron credit for nothing. And there are people out there who uh don't give LeBron credit for not a thing. But you know, LeBron hate is in the same. It's in the realm that Floyd hate is in. Is getting close, getting very close. But again, you're right. It comes with the territory. When you're a great player, people gonna hate you. And Michael Jordan is beloved for the most part by most people. Black Maul. When the Ku Klux Klan loves you, I don't talk to me about Michael Jordan. Because members of the Ku Klux Klan love Michael Jordan. Dirty draws. They love Michael Jordan to no end. So I ain't. Some of the most racist of racist people love Michael Jordan. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. A lot of racists love Michael Jordan for a fact. So, you know, what are you talking about? You know. So Dreamers Pro whole squad, they don't want to give LeBron credit for nothing. Scap Attack whole audience. Don't give LeBron James credit for nothing. Jet Lifer, who your favorite player? I just gotta know. Who your favorite player? I just want to know who your favorite basketball player is. Mm, mm. The Lakers really got wrecked last night. I noticed Austin Reed was missing last night as soon as Lakers lineups were announced. I felt bad for Luca. Right. Bro, absolutely Black Mall. This is a pro Michael Jordan town, Black Mall. 100%. You'll be hard pressed to find people saying because of them six championships, Black Mall. I'm telling you. This is a pro regard. They don't be king, but they yeah. They love Michael Jordan because of what he won in them championships. I promise you. Michael Jordan winning championships absolved everything. So they don't be king like that. This is a pro Michael Jordan city to the core because of them championships. They right exactly. Isaiah Thomas is from Chicago, Black Mall. He was always the militant brother, always the one standing down on pro black stances, all of that. And they hate Zeke here. That tells you everything you need to know about Chicago, Illinois, and Michael Jordan's relationship with this city. I couldn't have put it any better, Charlie X. Zeke was always the militant brother, and they hate him here because of Michael Jordan. You got people who disrespect Zeke on a daily basis. West Side, Chicago West Siders, they come the same part of town Zeke from. Zeke from the West Side of Chicago, and people out west will hate Zeke in favor of Michael Jordan here. Them Michael Jordan winning here absolved everything. You're not gonna find people talking bad about him here. The older generation, not at all, despite all Mike's stuff, the stuff that Mike ain't never spoke up on certain issues, they don't care. You know what I'm saying? So they love him here. You know? Nah, majority, you know what I'm talking about, bro. Majority of the people be hating Zeke here in favor of Michael Jordan. And my father's friends included. I be having to get them to put respect on Zeke's name. Cause Zeke the best basketball player to come out of this city. And they still be trying to trash Zeke. They mad because Zeke ain't shake Michael Jordan hand. He a sore loser. I don't like Isaiah. Isaiah, right from here in Chicago. Chicago all day long. And people in Chicago still be, man, he didn't do that to Michael Jordan. He didn't shake his hand. Who cares, bro? Like, what? Zeke played for the Bulls on one. No, Zeke is born and raised here, though, right? Zeke born and raised here. born and bred here. When you think of Chicago basketball, Isaiah Thomas is it. Literally. Bro, let me tell you something. If Derrick Rose play for any team, Chicago is not opposing Derrick Rose in no way, shape, form, or fashion. It became a thing because of Michael Jordan and Zeke, whatever. I don't know. Let me tell you something. Derrick Rose can play with a LeBron James team. People are never going to disrespect D Rose at all, at all. We gonna care because D Rose is one of us. And I saw this. I saw old dude. It don't matter what pool play at. Chicago riding for him regardless. And anybody from Chicago will tell you that. But they didn't get that same type of love to Zeke. Zeke didn't get that same type of love on the 14th. It don't matter where he go, he getting. You know what I'm saying? So that'd be the thing. I ain't never like how Chicago did Zeke like that. My daddy friends, his friends be trying to talk crazy about Zeke because he didn't shake Michael Jordan hand. Like what? He rose and played for the team that was beating Chicago in the playoffs, man. That's why. Bro, it wouldn't matter. Who get love regardless. But I just think like now you say because they were beating the Bulls or whatever, but it didn't matter, man. Them dudes, man. I just always felt like it was wrong how Isaiah Thomas got done by the elder statesmen of this city in favor of Michael Jordan. A lot of the elders in this city still be throwing salt on Zeke. They be like, Zeke just mad because Mike took Chicago from him. And as a Chicagoan, how dare you say, how dare you let that come out your mouth? Like what? Like it's Chicago people that be like Zeke. I don't. Zeke just mad. We don't be rock. Like what? He told me next time I see Zeke, I'm gonna slap. No, you not. You slap Zeke, you gonna get beat up. Charlie X says not just because he beat the Bulls, it's because a lot of these old get on their knee for Jordan as opposed to showing love to Zeke, who actually invested in the city. Facts. And that's my problem, right? A lot of these old heads, my father's generation in particular, I be talking about them because they hate Zeke. And Zeke was the one coming to the inner cities, talking to the kids, showing his face in the hood, coming to touch the people, coming to be with the common man, giving back to the city. Zeke was doing that, right? But them same old dudes that hate Zeke, they do what for Michael Jordan. They love Michael Jordan, but they hate Zeke to the core. You ain't gonna never catch Michael Jordan on the south side of this city for real. He ain't gonna be in the midst of it. But what? Zeke was at the South Side YMCA on first take when certain gun violence was happening in the city. Michael Jordan ain't coming on us to the to the South Side YMCA at all. At all. And that's what I be making a point. Like, how can y'all elder statesmen of the city hate Zeke so much? He can't help that the Pistons drafted him. Zeke even tried to have a terrible workout for the Pistons, so he didn't get drafted by them because he wanted to play for the Bulls so bad. He wanted to play for the Bulls that bad. He tried to have a terrible workout for the Pistons, and they told him, man, we know what you're doing. We still drafting you. We know what you're doing. We still drafting you, man. So I don't like when elder statesmen in the city try to trash Zeke like that. Because Zeke always been Chicago. And again, I've disagreed with certain things Zeke has said, but Zeke always been Chicago ball man. And because Derrick Rose was not healthy throughout his career, it remains that Zeke is the best player to ever come from this city. Because D Rose, unfortunately was not healthy. You say you see them BS interviews they do with Mike for NBA. It's not them not even interviews. They did one long interview with Mike and just playing the segments on NBC. So the fans thought Mike was gonna be on there like giving his daily like commentary after games or stuff. Like it's really like one long interview or something like that. They giving him, you know, they playing the segments throughout they playing the segments throughout, I guess, the season. What about Anthony Davis? What you mean? What about you saying do AD get love here? Is what you asking? Oh, is he the best player? Zeke better than AD for sure. And I love AD. Zeke, two-time champion. Zeke, what to me, Zeke, the second greatest point guard to ever breathe oxygen on planet Earth, right? Um, brother, your name is Black Knight 824 Kobe Bryant. I don't trust anything you have to say about LeBron James with a name like that. When your name is Black Knight 824 Kobe Bryant, I don't trust nothing you say about LeBron James. Over Steph. Because to me, Steph point guard, Steph don't play point. He's labeled as a point guard, but to me, I don't think of Steph as a point. I think he's more of a combo guard. It's times he don't be bringing the ball up the court. He be off ball a lot. For a majority of his career, he was a lot of times be off ball. Draymond Green, um, Draymond Green be leading the team in assists a lot of times. And to me, the definition of a point guard is really the head of the snake. He's the guy that with the ball in his hands majority of the time. He is the guy getting his teammates high percentage shots. And Zeke played that position. And Steph be running off screens like Rip Hamilton. Rip Hamilton running around. So he's more of a combo guard to me, even though he's labeled as the PG. Point guard, that's Zeke. Now, Steph is a better player overall than Zeke, yes. But I don't think Steph is an actual PG. Steph 3-1 against LeBron. Okay, cool. How many Finals MVPs got Steph got against LeBron James? I'm just gonna ask that. How many Finals MVPs Steph got when he played against LeBron James? What about when Michael Jordan and the Bulls beat the Pistons? Isaiah Thomas just walked off the court without shaking hands. I mean, I don't care about that Mingle Justin. Like, just because they didn't shake hands, that means you gotta hate Zeke for the rest of your life and disrespect Zeke. Where is D Wade ranked on your Shot Town grade? See, Black Mall. See, to me, D Wade is very. I'll be kind of like, I'll be in and out of do I say Wade is really Shot Town great? Because Wade didn't play in, like, he didn't grow up in this, he really grew up in Robbins for most of his time, right? Um, he left Chicago at about 8 years old and then went to Robbins. Finished out his elementary school years in Robbins, went to high school out in the suburb. Granted, Zeke went to high school in the suburbs too, right? He did. But Zeke was still living in the west side of Chicago the entire time, right? Zeke still went to elementary school on the west side. He just traveled to St. Joe's for high school, but he was still living on the west side of the city. Robbins is right outside of Chicago, like 10 minutes outside of the city for real. But I'd be kind of like, it's it's tough. It's tough because I'd be trying to see. He said LeBron wears purses and sells a Barbie doll to little boys. If I'm a freak, what you call that? Um, Man, I really don't care about him. None of that stuff. I don't really care about that stuff, bro. To be real with you. Dennis Rodman wore dresses and lipstick and makeup and mascara and eyelashes and eyeliner, and people still love Dennis Rodman and give him the utmost respect. I really don't care about nothing. But yeah, Wade, it's hard because Wade really not he said he wanted to say Wade not really embedded in Chicago basketball the same way, unfortunately. You know what I'm saying? Even though he lived in the city till he was about 8 years old and he moved. But yeah. Now Mark Aguirre was an absolute dog. Dog. Mark Aguirre was a phenomenal hooper. But unfortunately, Mark when Mark came, because he went to Detroit. And when he went to Detroit, he sacrificed a lot of his scoring to win. Mark and in Dallas, he was averaging 26 a game, 27, 25. Mark Aguirre, that's Isaiah Thomas's best friend. Mark. Mark Aguirre was phenomenal. In Dallas, he was getting busy. 26 a game, 27, 20. He was going crazy. But then he ended up getting traded to Detroit, I believe, and with Adrian Dantley, I think was in that trade. And then he started averaging like 14 a game, 13, 14, 15, stuff like that. And those are his best known years because they were winning then. You know what I mean? And so, they remember those Detroit seasons. But yeah, isn't Bill Laimbeer not from Chicago? Nah. Uh-uh. So you heard about Zion in the tabloids again for another OnlyFans model. I didn't even know if that was real or not, bro. To be real with you, but I mean, it's not surprising. It's not shocking. Uh, Not shocking at all. Zion like playing with them freaks. Uh, Hold on, Bill Laimbeer from Chicago. Go look that up. Which part of Chicago Bill Laimbeer from? Look that up. Bill Laimbeer from Chicago. Go look up where Bill Laimbeer from. Cause I ain't said Lambeer from Boston, but he grew up in the hills, man. Yeah, I gotta see what Bill Lambeer from, man. Because they said Chicago. Wait a minute, Clarendon. Yeah, that ain't Chicago. I know that. So we gotta get Lambier's from Naperville. Oh, not from it's not Chicago. Naperville, about an hour or so away from away from the city. That's like Candace Parker. We talking about Chicago, and I love Candace, but Candace, and not Naperville, about an hour outside of the city. Absolutely not. If I don't give Montana a 300, Chicago, which I don't, I can't give it to nobody from Naperville. Naperville, the culture is completely different than Chicago. They walk different in Naperville, talk different, got a different type of swagger. CP is Chicago. Stop it. I love Candace. We only claim Candace from Chicago because Candace is a great basketball player. If Candace was trash, we would say everybody in Chicago will holler. She from Naperville. She not from here. They will all holler that. Some of Tinley Park claim Chicago. Yeah, they do. And I unfortunately see this is the problem with my city, man. This is the problem with my city. My city be letting people claim the city. If you good at that, if you great at sports, we'll let you claim it. But if you terrible, we'll tell you the truth. Tinley Park, that's not Chicago. That is not Chicago. So that's the thing too. Like I be talking about even Kevin Garnett, right? Garnett was out here for 1 year. He's not from Chicago, but Chicago people be trying to give him the Chicago pass because he went to school that 1 year on the west side, right? Now he was in the hood. He went there for that 1 year, out in Farragut, but he didn't grow up here. But people be like, they let him claim Chicago because he great. If KG was a scrub, they would say he from South Carolina. He not from here. And the truth of the matter is KG is a South Carolina. He's a South Carolina guy. You know what I'm saying? He Jordan from my hometown, North Carolina. We run Chicago. That be sounding good. No, it sounds good to say that. You know, it sounds good. That's not true though. Hey, stop being disrespectful, bro. Cut it out. Stop being disrespectful up in here. Watch how you talking up in here. Watch your mouth. That's very disrespectful. Watch how you talking. And he said from North Carolina, but we run Chicago. I disagree. But shout out to North Carolina though. D Rose mean more to Chicago than Jordan. Yeah, I think it's depending. Like you're right, and that depends on the generation, right? My father and them would never tell you. My father and them would never tell you that D Rose means more than Michael Jordan, uh, because they grew up watching Mike and got watching win 6 rings. But my generation and the ones that's younger, we gonna tell you that because Derek is from here, born and raised, and we watched him grow up here. He's Chicago, like he from Chicago. You know, he not from Skokie. He not from Kankakee. He not from Gurnee. He not from all them other Aurora. None. He really from Inglewood in Chicago. That is as Chicago as it gets. He went to Chicago public schools. You know, so we admire Derek in a different type of way because we really watched him come from nothing, come from the struggle, really come from like literally nothing in the city where we was living in. And we watched his ascension. We watched it up close and personal. I remember watching D Rose be on the cover of Slam magazine at Simeon. I remember watching him beat Oak Hill on national TV on ESPN. He took a local school, like Simeon is a local school. He took a local team and beat a national powerhouse on national TV. Like Oak Hill in Virginia, that is a powerhouse team. That's a team where people get players from all across the country and put them all together. Derek played with him and he took him as his homeboys, him and his homies that he grew up with. He went on national TV and beat that team. Like that was crazy for us to watch. Like this man really took some dudes from the neighborhood. Because as much as we love Tim Flowers and Kevin Johnson and all them type and Brandon Hall, them guys were like mid-major type players. You know, Derek was the only one who was a clear-cut, stand-out, phenomenal, like outstanding player for real. And they went and beat them dudes on TV. And so then we saw that same brother go to Memphis, get to the national championship game, come to Chicago, win Rookie of the Year. Um, we saw him win Rookie of the Year. Then we also saw him become a league MVP. And in my lifetime, I ain't never seen a dude from Chicago be the most valuable player in the NBA. So I think that's why we hold Derek to a different. He's close to us and to our heart in a different way. But yeah, Jabari was a. Now I'm gonna say this about Jabari. Jabari and his Simeon teams, they was the first Chicago public school team to win 4 straight state titles. Jabari Parker played varsity all 4 years, uh, and they won state all 4 years in a row. That's very hard to do. So yeah, man. Yeah, Jabari was phenomenal. He said D Rose soft looking at. He just rage bait, man. He just rage bait, man. He just mad, man. D Rose is 6 feet dunking in elementary school. He was at Beasley Elementary School in Bronzeville, going crazy, dunking with his elbows, boy. Say Rose or something. And if he would have never got hurt, man, who knows what would have happened with D. Like Derrick probably would have went down as a, you know, top 2 to 3 point guard. Who knows? Bandwagon say I'm taking the prime D Rose over lots of them PGs in the '90s. Who was exceptional? Who was exceptional, man? It was fun to watch. Unfortunately, his body started to break down. Said talk about LBJ losing 6 NBA finals. What do you want me to say? You want me to call him trash? That second, yeah. Because that first injury, okay, we like he tore his ACL, he'll be back. And then the next year, he tore his meniscus or something like that in his knee, playing against Portland, I think. Hey, Marcus, he said Rose dropped 42 of Beasley and 56 on us in 7th grade. I knew I had no chance at the league after seeing the Marcus, man. Hey, Marcus, what school, what grammar school you went to, Marcus? Yeah, I remember that Black Mall. That's why I talked about it. I talked about it. You might have stepped off when I talked about it. Derek really took a local team. He took his homeboys and beat a national powerhouse team where they get the players from the best team. They get the best players across the country. That's when you know Derek was something different. Derek was hooping with his homeboys. It was him and his homies. And they went up against a national powerhouse full of dudes that was going high major D1. When he was playing, they was playing against dudes going to Michigan, USC, what I'm saying? Dudes going to Ohio State. Derek was the only dude on Simeon with a high major offer. Everybody else had mid major opportunities. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, yeah. Brandon Jennings still be mad about that. Only 123 KM say I'm surprised I know 4 Chicago high schools without going to one. Now St. Joseph's is not a Chicago high school. That is in the suburbs. Whitney Young, Simeon Marshall. Yes. You watch Hoop Dreams. I can tell you watch Hoop Dreams. But St. Joe's is not in Chicago. That's in the suburbs. The other 3 teams you named, Chicago, Simeon, Whitney Young, Marshall, yeah. He said, I bet Derrick Rose wouldn't have beat Oak Hill with Carmelo on it. I'm taking Chicago over everything. We still, Simeon still would have won that game with Melo, with Melo on there, man. So I met William Gates. Shout out, William Gates is from what I've seen him, from all accounts, he's a very good brother. Unfortunately, Coach Pingator did not care. I don't think he cared about William Gates outside of basketball. I don't think he cared about William Gates' future and none of that. The way he talked to him, he didn't care nothing about. He cared about winning games and his legacy and making money off of William Gates. Yeah, Pingator did Arthur Agee worse, and that's what happens at these schools. Honestly, if you watch Hoop Dreams, Coach Pingator is a prime example of how NCAA basketball works. If they feel like you're good enough and you're developing properly, they will figure out a way for you to be eligible. They will figure out a way for you to stay on the team somehow, some way. When Arthur Agee went to Marshall, they didn't think Arthur was progressing good enough. They didn't think he was going to be good. So somehow, some way, the tuition was not covered by St. Joe's because they knew he wasn't going to be able to pay it. So that was their way. That was their way of getting Arthur Agee up off the team because they didn't think he was going to pan out. They saw William Gates and they thought, okay, well, he can pan out. So they kept his scholarship and all that stuff covered, his tuition covered. But they didn't think Arthur Agee was going to pan out. So his tuition, we don't know what happened. And that's why Arthur Agee had to go to Marshall. He said that's how I am with DC ballers. Mike Beasley is really from DC. KD from St. See Pleasant, Maryland. And he came to the Wizards, we would have let him claim in DC. That's how they do. Oh, shit. But I don't know. So you going live tonight? I'll see you later. Yeah. Talk about look at this man. Talk about LeBron losing. Talk about him losing. Oh yeah, I know it's him. But yeah, man. I just want to get on here and talk to y'all real quick this morning. Talk to y'all about the Lakers and the game and all of that, man. What my man say, Uno, when LeBron retires, I appreciate the donation. Uno said, when LeBron retires, what NBA player will receive the most hate? NBA fans need someone to hate on. Um, Trying to think who is up lined up next for the most hate. That's a great question. I think Shea Gilgeous Alexander. I think Shea Gilgeous Alexander, maybe Luca. Luca, Shea Gilgeous Alexander, because people call him a free throw merchant, stuff like that. KD old now. You know what I'm saying? So not him. I think he's saying from the younger generation who will be the next player that will be hated on like that. And I think it's going to be the Shea Gilgeous Alexander or Anthony Edwards, maybe Anthony Edwards. If Anthony Edwards don't win a ring soon, Anthony Edwards. It's gonna be between Anthony Edwards, Shea Gilgeous Alexander, Luca. Fans like them now. Fans like LeBron James early in his career, Draco. Fans actually love LeBron James early in his career. They didn't hate LeBron like universally until he left Cleveland, and then when he started speaking out, talking about black issues, it started to be a more uptick in hate for him. So they like them now. Um, but I think after the absence of LeBron James, they're gonna find somebody else to pick with. They calling Shea Gilgeous Alexander a free throw merchant now. They don't like his game. They say all he do is try to get to the line. I'm seeing them angle the hate towards him too. So you said it must be a high school phenom, and that's yeah, high school. Another dude to figure out how they can hate on. Said Mac, I got to get on here and debate you one day, sports wise. You could make it happen. Only reason I ain't go live right now, I mean, I ain't dropped the link this morning because I don't know what people gonna say when I drop the link. And like I'm in McDonald's doing this video, and like people get on here talking crazy. There's all a whole bunch of other people like cursing crazy. You see, I ain't really cursed that much for real today. There's other people sitting all around me, and I kind of wanted to like control the conversation, so I didn't drop the link. But yeah, So I don't know, man. I think people fail to mention that part. When the hype is that loud, the haters gonna be twice as loud. Y'all know the phrase, the brighter the photo, the darker the negative. I'm in McDonald's this whole time, bro. That's where I'm at. Um, yeah, I think Anthony Edwards probably gonna get if he don't win soon, they gonna talk about him for sure. I can see it. So I don't know. You just you kind of sometimes you never know how this stuff gonna pan out. How is the hate gonna pan out for real? You just never know. You just got to keep watching and seeing. D say you need some mods when you mission your volume. They be coming to me and talking crazy. I'll be ready for all of it though. I'll be ready for all of it. D Wimby maybe because the hype is there for him. Yeah, Wimby. But one thing I noticed though is that international players don't get that type of hate for the most part when they're like Wimby is not. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I haven't watched enough interviews. He's not that charismatic in the way like Luca is a little bit more charismatic in a way on court and stuff like that. And I think Wimby because Wimby is kind of chill and modest, he can fly under the radar a little bit better where he doesn't get that the hate mounted up on him. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know, like international guys don't really maybe I'm tripping. International guys don't really get to that type of like hate and animus. Like it really be the American dudes that be really getting like the gist of a lot of the hate a lot of times. In my opinion. Mm, because a lot of the international dudes, their aura is completely different. So they don't come with the bravado that Luka Doncic does, though. Luka does, but a lot of them don't come with the bravado of a lot of the American players. And because they don't have that bravado, they can fly under the radar. They aren't as flamboyant, like you said. They aren't as flamboyant, none of that. So they let them fly under the radar, and they don't really attack them like that because they aren't as you know. I don't think Dirk got hate, bro. I really don't really think Dirk got a lot of hate. He got some, but I don't think Dirk got a lot of hate for real. People was cool with Dirk. Um, I don't know. International guys don't get that type of criticism for real. Dirk was good. Dirk won that one championship. It was always cool. They always they get like most international guys get labeled as humble all the time. Now SGA he get the hate because unfortunately he's going up against a player that has the complexion for the protection. He's getting compared up against Nikola Jokic, right? And in comparison to him, they ready to trash him because Nikola Jokic is his rival and adversary, right? And so he's now his game is getting nitpicked in favor of Nikola Jokic. He shoots too many free throws. He shoots too many free throws. Yada yada yada. You know? But yeah, most of the time international guys get labeled as humble, good guys who you should want to be like. They get praised because they just grow up in a different type of atmosphere. And I think when they come over to America playing, they don't like they don't be trying to bring no extra attention to themselves off the court or like in a bravado or nothing like that. You said Dirk has dated more black women than Kobe. I gotta be honest with you in the chat. When SGA wore that sports bra doing shoot around, I knew he would never be accepted here fully. Um, but you know what though? I don't even. You think it's just that though? I think people use that as another little reason, but Yeah, yeah. International players be talking crazy. They do, but they don't never be. They don't never get the cocky label for real. I'm gonna have to do a video about that. They talk crazy, but they don't be getting that cocky label. I don't know because they got an accent or what. I don't know what it is. People be looking at black athletes, and when black athletes talk mess, it just looked at different. Look at this. Look at this Negro. Look at him. Look at him. He's dark. He's got these cornrows, these braids in his hair. Got these tattoos. Look how he's talking. I don't like it. I don't like it one bit. It's an SGA. He's Jeremy Kane. Uh, Caleb Williams. Them boys would have to be the greatest of all time to get their credit. You know, that's a whole another story for another day. Uno 93 says SGA didn't start being called a free throw merchant until he dared challenge Jokic for the MVP. Facts. That's what I'm talking about. They call him that to discredit him. You're 100% spot on. I appreciate you, Uno. Thanks for the donation too, brother. That means a lot to me and my family, bro. Trying to do this YouTube thing and make this thing my career, man. So I appreciate it, man. All the donations help me out a lot, bro. So especially the role players, Enos Cantor. Hold on. Yes, bingo. The role playing internationals, they talk crazy. Zaza Pachulia, Porzingis, Enos Cantor, they be talking spicy, and they always get absolved from that. They be like, "Oh, it's cool. International guys can talk crazy, and nobody bats an eye." But what? Let you be a Black American player talking like that. You is public enemy number one. How dare you be out here talking like that with these tattoos and these cornrows in your hair? Bismack Biyombo, Yabusele. I like Yabusele. Yabusele be hooping, boy. That's the one that dunked on Braun in the Olympic Games. Yabusele be hooping. Um, you look at Black Knight. He just can't. He on a tear. He can't help himself. He said, "Is it me? Am I tripping?" But I feel like Joker doesn't even get his credit. I think he gets a lot of credit. credit. I think right now he just is not. He's not hyped up in a way that other great players have been hyped up due to the fact that his game is not exciting. And I think that's probably what you're saying. I think he gets a lot of credit for how great he is as an offensive player. It's not easy. It's hard to market him because he doesn't jump high. He's not dunking on people. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't have a flashy game. You got to really be a fan of the game to really market him like you would market a LeBron James or Kobe Bryant or Allen Iverson or Shaquille O'Neal. Like, you know what I mean? You can't. Jokic can't jump over a sheet of paper. It's hard to market him. So while he's a outstanding offensive player, you know, defense, don't get me started on his defense. You know, but it's hard to market. Yeah, he and right. Jokic is recognized as the top two player in the game at minimum. It's just Jokic is recognized as the top two player in the game. I look for that shit to make people smile. Yeah, thank you. He's literally a top. Like you say, he's a top two player in the game for real. I just don't think. I think Black Malt is looking at it like, why isn't he on? Why isn't his brand bigger? Or why isn't he on the commercials that a LeBron James probably had coming up? Why isn't Nikola Jokic everywhere? And I just think it's because his game. You gotta really love basketball to like to appreciate his game. It's kind of like watching like how dare I say Floyd Mayweather Jr. in the aspect, right? If you're not a fan of boxing, you won't appreciate the way Floyd Mayweather Jr. fights. But you would appreciate Mike Tyson because Mike Tyson he gonna have bombs. He trying to knock folks out, you know. But Jokic get his credit 100%, and I think even now, like I said, the hate towards SGA is really all about Nikola Jokic. If we really going, and I'm gonna have to make a video about that. If we really gonna go there, SGA started getting hate when him and Jokic started getting them in the MVP conversations. And now Shea Gilgeous Alexander is being looked at, and he's being he's what's the word I'm looking for? He's being denigrated or he's being downplayed due to the fact that his top competition is Nikola Jokic. So yeah, Jokic is like Tim Duncan. Jokic, you really have to know the game to appreciate their dominance. Um, yeah, I get what you're saying. He don't play like Tim per se, as far as defensively, but I get what you're saying. Yeah, you really gotta, in order to appreciate them, you really gotta know basketball. You really gotta be a fan of the sport. Because Tim wasn't dunking on people. Tim wasn't flashy. He had a real, I mean, his nickname is the Big Fundamental. So, and people would say back in the day, there were people that thought the Spurs were a boring team because they were a half court team. They was not full court running and gunning. They wasn't doing that Mike D'Antoni style offense. It was a real half court team, you know. You said he's getting that nitpick treatment for sure. Yeah, that's all, without a doubt. And Timmy never won a defensive player, and that's crazy. He never won a defensive player of the year. Timmy never won. And during that time, we saw Ron Artest win one, Ben won four, Big Ben won four defensive player of the years. I'm trying to think who else was winning some defensive player of the years during that time period. Dwight Howard. So you had Dwight winning his. Um, KG in ball right. Garnett won in Boston. He won defensive player of the year. That is crazy. Tim never got one. Yeah, but yeah, Dwight was winning his, and because Dwight got at least he got three, I think. Dwight got three defensive player of the years. Ben Wallace got four. KG got one. Ron Artest won one. Yeah, and it would be then what would be during those years where Timmy was getting to it. He was shot blocking, rim protecting, rebounding, all of that. Um, you say like Dikembe Mutombo, yeah, Dikembe Mutombo, Alonzo Mourning. I'm gonna say it like Jalen Rose said it when he got drafted. I'm gonna be playing with Dikembe Mutombo, Dikembe Mutombo. Big Marcus Camby from UMass said Timmy shut down the prime Shaq. Timmy was extraordinary, man. Hey, talk about it, Uno. When Marc Gasol won Defensive Player of the Year over LeBron, that was crazy. I'm with you. I believe that's the year LeBron should have won Defensive Player of the Year that year. I agree with you. I do. But they gave it to Marc Gasol, but I believe that was the year that LeBron should have won Defensive Player of the Year. I think that was when his defense was top notch, and I think that was the best. See, that was his. I think that year he was the best defensive player that year. Um, Kobe '06, the greatest scoring season ever. No, Michael Jordan averaged 37.5 in a season, brother. Like Michael Jordan averaged 37 and a half in a season. I can't say Bane's scoring year was better than that. I can't. I can't say that. Can't say that at all. Yeah, Mark Gasol. Yeah, you're right. Mark Gasol was second team All NBA, all the second team All Defense, and one Defensive Player of the Year, which is crazy. He said Harden 36, the greatest I ever seen. James was getting buckets for sure. It was like he had his knack for scoring was incredible. His knack for scoring was phenomenal. That's without question. Said Wilt averaged 40 points per game twice, which is ridiculous. But I mean, then you're gonna have people that discredit that and say, well, Wilt played in an era where there wasn't many teams and it wasn't many black guys. But I don't discredit Wilt because you can only play against who's out there, right? Same way. I just happen to never see Wilt. I see the numbers, but I never saw it, right? Um, but yeah, same way I don't discredit Bill Russell for winning those championships he won. I say, oh, they wasn't a lot of teams back then, but I mean, Bill Russell was balling. Say Harden with that lethal step back. Yeah, James, I'm gonna tell you something, man. I will never forget when James went to Houston, and you know, I saw James in OKC, and I thought, man, James is a great complementary piece to a team. But for some reason, I never thought James would be like a great first option scoring player, right? And when he started out in Houston, them first couple of games, he was 45, 44. He was going correct. You remember when he first went to Houston? I was in college at that time. And I remember watching them games and looking at the score like, this man, James Harden, going crazy. James was trying to make a point. Like, OKC, y'all should have paid because I think OKC shortened him by like 5 million. They didn't want to give him that extra 5 million that Houston gave him. And yeah, it like four, yeah, it was 4 or 5 million, right? And OKC didn't want to get it to him. And so he said, okay, cool. I'm gonna go over here to Houston and I'm gonna show y'all what y'all missing out on. And that's when he had them offensive explosions. I'm looking on the court like, what? And at the time, uh Black Maul say, gotta be honest, Mac. He's never a James Harden fan. That's who Luca is. Like James Harden. He will never win a ring just like him for the same reasons. I mean, I understand. James had a game where people didn't like it due to the fact that one, James got to the line a lot. There was a lot of times people didn't like. They felt like the step back was a travel, but I mean, do they really call travel in the NBA? No. Um, you had a lot of people that looked like they felt like you had a lot of people that felt like James he was just a defensive liability at all times. So yeah, I get it, but I'm gonna be real with you. I had to appreciate the scoring that I saw from James because James could score it up, could fill it up in a variety of ways, and I would be like, "It's not. This is crazy." Watching that was just like, yeah, he in a different realm. His scoring, his knack for scoring was fun to watch at times. I ain't gonna lie, you know. All time career scoring per game. MJ, will Kobe average 27 a game for his career? For his career per game? Now I know Mike has the highest scoring average. His is at 30. 30 a game, I think, for his career, which is phenomenal. Kobe got a career average of 27 a game. Yeah, Kobe averaged at 25. I thought so. 25. I'm like, I don't think it ain't no 27 now. What are we talking about? Like, I'm like, I don't remember Kobe Bryant being right under there. Like, yeah, Kobe's at 25 a game. He said he lying. I knew it, but I'm just like, I don't think that. I want to make sure. I want to make sure that was right. Not gonna lie to y'all. I'm like, I gotta make sure this is this is the correct information. He said stop spamming. He gonna continue just talking a whole lot, just talking anything, bro. He's still spamming. He gonna keep on coming. which is why SGA hate confuses me. He is just as dominant offensively as James and way better defensively. It doesn't take away from his teammates' opportunity to be a part of the offense. Black Maul, you know what that hate is about for SGA. It's about him being in competition with Nikola Jokic. And because people love Jokic so much and he was a threat to Jokic's MVP, or they feel like he took Jokic's MVP, now it's World War III on Shea Gilgeous Alexander. We got to point out that, like, we got to point out, oh, he gets to the line too much. Said, love your channel. I appreciate that, man. Thank you. It's got to be now. We got to nitpick him. He gets to the line too much because people feel like he took Jokic MVP. That is a real thing. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think they're gonna let him get it. They're not gonna let that die out. They're not gonna let that go. You can tell an actual Lakers fan versus a LeBron fan. Yeah, well, let me tell you something, D-Lofty. I've never claimed to be a Lakers fan in my life. I was never a Lakers fan. I've always been a fan of LeBron. I didn't like the Lakers when Kobe was there. I like Shaquille O'Neal. Shaquille O'Neal was my guy. I like Shaquille O'Neal, but I've never liked the Lakers. I've never liked the Lakers. You said exactly. And I admit that on my channel. So ain't no hiding at all. I tell y'all that. I don't gotta hide that. You've heard that, people have heard that on my channel for years. I have never liked the Lakers. Dude, no. When they was playing against Scottie Pippen and the Trailblazers, I was rooting for the Trailblazers. When they was playing against the Sacramento Kings, I was rooting for the Sacramento Kings and Chris Webber. Right? I just like I like Shaquille O'Neal. I like watching the big Diesel. So I just need Ant-Man to make me sound like I know what I'm talking about and take over the league. Yeah, he another one. I'm telling you. That's really gonna be the prime target, man, because Ant got a je ne sais quoi like a dude from the city. He got a Negro appeal on him. He got a lot of Negro in him, if you know what I'm talking about. And when you have that type of bravado, right? When you have that type of bravado, yeah. The Bulls my favorite team, but what is the Bulls on right now? What is the Bulls on right now? They on something. And I always tell y'all, when the Bulls play the Lakers, I root for the Chicago Bulls. When the Bulls play a LeBron James team, I root for the Chicago Bulls. But the Bulls ain't on nothing. You know what I'm saying? You feel me? So yeah. But LeBron James is my favorite player. D Lofton, I'm gonna tell you that. The LeBron James is my favorite player, and I don't hide that. So yeah. Hey Jason Hunter, man, what's going on with you? Yeah, but Ant got a lot of Negro in him, and when you got that type of Negro in you, you bet they're gonna look at you like you better win. How you doing? Thank you. They gonna say you better win now, boy. You got that bravado. You talking crazy like that? You better win. That's gonna be the thing. He said, I've always been a Bullets Wizards fan, so I've never been an MJ, Kobe, or Braun fan. They all have cooked us. So that's the only thing with Ant. Ant is a fun player to watch, but you know that type of bravado comes with criticism. It's kind of like if Floyd Mayweather, if Floyd Mayweather was to ever lose a fight with the bravado he has, oh my God, Floyd knew what was coming for him. He could not have that type of bravado and talk like he talk and flaunt like he flaunt and profile and stunt like he does and not win. It was going to be a problem. It was going to be a problem without question. They're like, huh? You ain't winning? Oh no. You ain't winning? Oh no. Look at Adrian Broner. Adrian Broner had that same bravado He lost them fights is over with. They couldn't wait to get on him. Or as Oskino say, they couldn't wait to cook his toast. As Oskino be saying, I'm gonna cook his toast. They couldn't wait to cook his toast again. You know? But yeah, some people say Ant is Michael Jordan's son. That'd be the rumor, man. Ant-Man has the potential to win every single accolade, MVP, scoring titles, rings, finals. I mean, he does, right? But I'm saying if he does not do it in a certain time frame with the bravado he has, he's going to get a lot of criticism because of how he carries it. When you carry it and pop it, when I say pop it, when you pop it like he does, when you got that type of machismo, oh, they're gonna say you better win. It's kind of like Shador Sanders, right? The way Shador carry it, they gonna say you better win. You flashing a rollie, you better come out here and ball, right? And be talking heavy. He be saying the N word in interviews and got about 6 baby mamas off the court. He be stunned. He be having his head cocked. He be cussing wherever he at. Hey, that's what happened. Ja Morant. Unfortunately for Ant ain't landed in no like serious legal trouble, right? Legal trouble. He said Ant is Calvin Murphy. I'm telling you, yes. Because Ja didn't got in legal trouble, it made it like worse because Ja didn't been with guns and stuff. And Ja is still trying to redeem his image now to this day. Ja is gonna have to go on a like complete tear to get it be winning crazy for that narrative to get flipped. Yes. For his narrative to get that back, he gonna have to like he's gonna have to go crazy. Because unfortunately, when you're not polished, they want you to win. They like, hey, you better win now. You better win. And truthfully, sometimes I wonder how Bubba Chuck. Well, I'm gonna say this about Chuck. Chuck dressed like a street dude, but he was very endearing a lot of times. So like, and Chuck got criticism too. He got criticism for sure. But Chuck was Allen Iverson. I'm talking about was very beloved too. So, but he got criticism too. But I don't know. Maybe they look at it different with Chuck because Chuck was like 165 pounds, 6 foot even. I don't know. But like you say, Iverson was very charismatic. He was very charismatic. Um, he was very in interviews. He knew how to talk. He was very media savvy too. But you're right. Chuck was not in the social media era, so like when he was getting into it with Tawana and allegedly put Tawana out the house one time, and Tawana didn't have no clothes on, allegedly something crazy like that. You're right. It wasn't media like, and we didn't have blog sites like the Shade Room and stuff to post it and talk about it and all that type of stuff, right? So that worked in Chuck's favor a lot. But David Stern definitely came around trying to cut that image and trying to. He didn't like what Allen Iverson represented at all, which is why that dress code came about in the NBA. Because to him, he'd be damned if if that be the future of the league. Guys with do rags on and 3X white tees and multiple chains on, jogging with jogging suits and Tim's on. You know, AI rolled around with a Mac 10 and would have his hair braided looking for Tawana allegedly. That's crazy. Did Tawana tell you? Every time I like that clip when Ann Iverson, when they interviewing his mama, Allen Iverson mama Ann. They saying something. She said, did Tawana tell you that? Did Tawana tell you? At the end of the day, it's always important to ask yourself, did Tawana tell you that when you say anything about Allen Iverson, did Tawana tell you that is the key? That's the question. Did Tawana say that? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, AI definitely brought the street image to the NBA, the tattoos and all that. And David Stern hated that. You know, I'm gonna say this too, man. David Stern get a lot of praise. there's a lot of shit David Stern was on that was like, hey, you know, David Stern. Everybody praise David Stern now. We love David Stern so much. And David Stern, it's a lot of stuff going on around it. David was the first one to okay load management because he was letting Greg Popovich do that. They was letting Greg Popovich do that for a little minute. That was in ski mask way. When 50 said, I holler at AI peoples to get gats. They charge me 500 a piece for 2 max, and I'm back doing me, back out in the street. That was in ski mask way. I get mad the fast way, ski mask way. Make money, money, money. I remember that line specifically. He definitely said, I holler at AI people to get gas. They charge me 500 a piece for 2 max. Hey, Fifth, stop. If I'm Allen Iverson, Fifth, what are you doing? Don't say you holler at nobody people. You don't holler at my peoples for nothing, Fifth. Don't say my name in nothing. Yeah, David Stern definitely vetoed that trade, to the Chris Paul trade to the Lakers, for sure. I never get down with that dress code stuff. I keep it real. That was his way of trying to make black athletes, make white audience feel more comfortable with that. Nah, for sure. And yeah, that's what I'm talking about with David Stern. That's why people be like, when people be like, David Stern wouldn't have had none of this. David Stern, boy, David Stern would have had these dudes in shape. And I'm like, come over here talking all that. David Stern was out here again. That was his way of making it was racial. He was definitely him and Phil Jackson. Players coming to the arena dressed in thuggery. Phil Jackson has said a lot of crazy stuff. That's why when Scottie Pippen said Phil be Phil, there's a lot of racial overtones or certain stuff that Phil was saying. Jobs have dress codes. But brother, the NBA is not the same thing as corporate America. You know what I'm saying? But he said jobs have dress codes, whatever. But when Phil Jackson started talking about players coming around dressed in thuggery, Phil Jackson started talking about LeBron James and his posse. He was talking about Rich Paul and Maverick Carter, his posse. You know, he started talking about Phil started talking about when he didn't like when players were protesting in the league with the Black Lives Matter movement. He was feeling a way about that. He didn't like the social justice messages on nothing. You know, yeah, George called Larry Brown 100. Man, let me tell you something. When Jalen Rose talked about, um, and that's a great code. That's a great point, Charlie X. Dre Cole said jobs have dress codes. Why the NHL don't have the dress code? That's the sport where they do the most fighting and knocking each other teeth out, busting each other's lips up, giving each other concussions with their fists, and they don't have a dress code at all. I wonder why. So that's a great point, Charlie. Charlie be coming through with the great points. But I was saying something before then. Yeah, Larry Brown, when Jalen Rose spoke about how when he got traded to the who was it he got traded to? Was it the Pacers? When he got traded to the Pacers, and they traded him for Mark Jackson, uh, that Larry Brown was really upset. He was really upset, and he's like, because I guess he liked Mark Jackson, and Larry Brown told Jalen Rose, Chris Webber and Juwan Howard are up here. Ray Jackson and Jimmy King are down here, and I get to determine wherever you go in your career. I determine that. And he said, I looked at Larry Brown and said, you don't determine that at all. I determine that by how I play and what type of effort I put forth in this game, right? And he said Larry Brown was intentionally sitting him, giving him do not plays to make him play. No, Jalen went to Denver first. He was with um the Denver Nuggets first. Then he would get traded. But Charlie X remember when Jalen said that, and Jalen spoke about how Larry Brown was intentionally trying to get him kicked out the league. Because you know what happens, right? Larry Brown didn't play him intentionally, hoping that Jalen Rose would cut up and snap out on him, so that they can then release him for conduct detrimental to the team. He was hoping that Jalen would become furious and curse him out and get into it with him, and they would say, "Listen, he is contract due to contact, excuse me, due to conduct detrimental to the team. He's going to be out of here." And he was hoping that Jalen would snap out on him. And Jalen said, "I did the exact opposite. I came to practice and I practiced like it was a game. I played in every practice like it was a game. I was giving it 120% in practice. I came up, I showed up, I stayed professional, all of that, right?" And then at some point, Larry Brown would get fired. And then Larry Bird became the coach. And he said Larry Bird becoming a coach was the best thing that ever happened to him, because Larry Bird gave him a shot and played him. And if you look up Jalen, I can argue the year that the Indiana Pacers went to the finals and played the LA Lakers, Jalen Rose was the best player on the Indiana Pacers. It was Jalen, and it was Jalen and Reggie. Jalen and Reggie Miller were the tandem, right? But Jalen was the better player than Reggie at that point. Him and Reggie they were the first teammates to have 40-point games together. Jalen and Reggie had for 40, both had 40-point games in the same game, right? All right, now you getting me. I didn't let you live for way too long, brother. Yeah, Jalen played heavy in the playoffs. Jalen was the best player on the dang on Pacers. But to speak about how what you call it did him, you know, I let him live for way too long. Like, you got to get out of here. At some point, you got to go. Like I can't. He just way too annoying. I tried to let him stick around. I tried to give him a chance, give him an opportunity. But yeah, Jalen Rose, Reggie, and Mark Jackson. Mark Jackson, I believe, got traded for Jalen. I don't. Mark went there. Larry Brown was old school. See that old school shit, Drake Cole, is the way that a lot of these coaches be getting a lot of that. They be doing a lot of that bullshit. That's what be happening. That he old school. They be getting away with doing a lot of BS. You said Mark was there at that time? Was Mark was there at that time? Yeah. But why did he say, hold on, um, no, what I was saying, what was I saying? Yeah, Larry Brown being old school, that's a lot of reason why Larry lost a lot of certain times Larry had some disappointing moments. Like when Team USA won the bronze medal, all because Larry Brown refused to play the younger talent on the team. He didn't want to play Carmelo Anthony. He didn't want to play LeBron James. He didn't want to play Dwayne Wade because they were young. And Team USA got the bronze medal because he went out there leaving the young gunners on the bench. Didn't want to play them. And you see what happened. You see what happened at that time. That's exactly why they lost. Because Larry Brown want to be old school. That's why I'm not gonna lie to y'all. If Carmelo Anthony would have went to Denver, I mean to Detroit, fresh out of college, I don't know if Larry Brown would have played him that much. He probably would have had Melo coming off the bench playing sparingly at times. I don't know. Larry Brown was so old school. He didn't believe in playing rookies like that. I don't know. We sit and say, um, Larry that if he would have went to Detroit, Melo would have been going crazy. It would have been the best thing for Detroit. But I don't with Larry Brown as their coach over there, I don't know what would have happened with Melo. I really don't know because I don't really trust Larry Brown's liking for rookie talent and young guys like that. So who knows? Now they ended up later on that year trading for Rasheed Wallace. Rasheed came at the trade deadline that year, that 2003, 2004 year. But yeah, I don't know if he would have played. I don't even know if you can't not play number overall 2 pick under any circumstances. Did Darko Milicic play like that, Black Mom? He said Larry would have been fired. Now that's true. But did Darko Milicic, did he play like that? I'm trying to remember, did Darko get minutes like that? Now, granted, Carmelo Anthony was the National Player of the Year, but he was number 2 overall pick. Was Darko playing significantly? He said, no, Darko ain't play like that. Yeah, and Darko number 2 pick. And he still sat Darko down. Yeah. And Joe Dumars, Joe D them let him rock doing that. He said that's why they traded for Sheed. Because Darko was not playing. You see what I'm saying? I don't trust Larry Brown with the development of young talent. So Melo could have went over there, and he would have been looking at Melo like, "You're not proving enough." What you mean? We just saw him win a national championship as a freshman. Larry Brown would have been down there, not proving enough for me. Nah, Tayshaun, get his minutes. Mhm. Would have had old ass Eldon Campbell getting all the Melo minutes, man. Old ass Eldon Campbell, boy. Even the fact that he told. Now again, Melo had a different cachet than Jalen. He won a national championship and was really the sole superstar player on Syracuse. I mean, he was playing with damn near with Jerry McNamara and Eric Devendorf now. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like when was it Jerry McNamara? Was Eric Devendorf there? Jerry McNamara was there though, for sure. Hakeem Ward, no. And he won the national championship. But look at how Larry Brown treated Jalen Rose. Jalen wasn't no scrub at all, by no stretch of the imagination. You know what I'm saying? Jalen was a few years into the league, though, trying to find his niche, but he literally told that man, I'll determine where you go from here. Juwan Howard and Chris Webber are up here. Ray Jackson and Jimmy King are down here, and I determine wherever you go from that point on. That is crazy to say. Like, I determine what happens to you. And I'm like, what Jalen said? He said that. He's saying low key Prince had to fight and scrap for his right. Corliss Williamson was there. Corliss Williamson was definitely. I'll be forgetting that. Yes, he was. And Tayshaun had to prove himself. Said Melo would have been practice busting Tayshaun every day, right? And as stubborn as Larry Brown was, he would have been still a rookie kid. Practice doesn't count. It's not a real game. This is not a real. You can't simulate practice, a real game in practice. So who's to say you're going to do that against a real competition, kid? Tayshaun, Corliss, get his minutes. Larry Brown just looked like a shiesty motherfucker. Ah. But I ain't gonna lie though. I think at some point, Rip Hamilton and Chauncey Billups and them would have spoken up for Melo in that case. But I mean, I don't know what would have happened, man. I just do not. I would have. When you think about who Larry Brown is, I mean, hell, he didn't play Melo after the rookie season that Melo had. He still didn't play Melo in the Olympics. That's again, you can say, well, look who he was playing. Man, that All-Star team was not that riddle. Them dudes that played over him was not more talented. I mean, he had Lamar Odom on the team. I mean, Tim Duncan was there, but then you had like Was Richard Jefferson on the team? Was Richard Jefferson on the team? It was like it wasn't. I mean, Stephon Marbury was there. Allen Iverson was there. Uh, it wasn't like guys that Melo could just easily that was gonna beat out Melo easily. Like where you was just like, oh, obviously Melo not gonna play over them. It really came to they really lost because they didn't play Carmelo, LeBron, and Dwayne Wade. Because Dwayne and LeBron and Melo would have been getting to it, getting active. And Larry Brown saw that talent on the bench and said, I'm not playing them. So that let me know everything I don't trust. I wouldn't have trusted him, man. You know? Yeah, trying to get Allen Iverson up out of there. He clashing with AI all the time. And at that point, AI was like a superstar without question. League MVP. I mean, he's still clashing with Allen Iverson. Want to get him up out of there. It's like I don't know, man. Maybe Brown would. It's just something about Larry. You got to watch him. Why didn't Kobe and Shaq play in that Olympics? I don't know. They just probably just didn't want to go. They probably opted. They playing long, grueling seasons. They going to the postseason, winning championships. They probably wanted a break, right? They going to postseason. Well, that was 04. 04, they had just lost. No, 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 no. Was it? Yeah, that was 04. They had lost the finals that year. So it was like, maybe their mind was elsewhere. They trying to wonder what was going to happen to the future of their team. You know what I'm saying? So said Kobe had the toe injury and the case. That's true. That's true. Kobe was still fighting that case and the toe injury, so they didn't play. Said George Carl, though, he wrote how Melo and Kmart act the way they do because they fatherless. Yeah, George Carl. He another one. Very, very racist. Doris Burke. Not Doris Burke. Was that Doris Burke who said that about him? Or no, that was Nancy Lieberman. I think it was Nancy Lieberman who talked about how George Carl was flat out racist. She spoke about it like, yo, like George was racist. And you could tell by certain things that he would say in meetings and all of that, right? And talked about the fatherlessness of his players. And that's why they didn't want to know how to, they didn't know how to be leaders and know how to like take direction and all of that. Like, and I'll say this about George Carl. Karma comes in weird ways, doesn't it? And I'll leave it at that. I'll leave it at that. But yeah, George Carl he was something else, man. He another one though. So, you know, boy, McDonald's busting, boy. Everybody coming through McDonald's. I know exactly what you mean too. Yeah, I'll leave it at that. You know what I mean? And I'll leave it at that. Oh man, man, man. But anyway, y'all, man, I'm finna get off this thing. I'll be back on in a few. I'm going live again later on. But I'm finna get off this thing, man. I'm gonna holler at y'all in a little minute. I appreciate everybody that donated, whether it was on Cash App or through the YouTube app. That's love, y'all. Like I said, I'm trying to make this YouTube thing. I'm trying to go full time with this. He said, "Is there free Wi-Fi?" Yeah, I'm trying to go full time with this, y'all. So like, um, everything helps, man. Every little dollar helps, man. And along my journey to be a full-time YouTuber all the way through, man. But I thank y'all for rocking with me. Thank y'all for watching the content and providing y'all comments in the comment section, man. It mean a lot to me, man. But I'm gonna holler at y'all a little later. We gonna get off this thing. Peace.